FM.
WOON, Woonsocket.
Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Good morning. It is time for Coffee Ann here on ON Radio, Friday morning, August the 22nd. Hi there, Joe Callahan with you. And around the coffee table, Melissa Murray's here. Hi, Melissa.
Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you. And live and in Technicolor, not on the phone. It's Meg Rigo from Levitt Amp. Hi, Meg.
Good morning. I love being here in real life in Woonsocket.
Instead of just on the phone.
Exactly.
The first segment of Coffee Ann is sponsored by the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. Check them out at nrichamber.com. I probably ask you this question every year, Meg, but I'll do it again. The summer just must fly by for you. Now, all of a sudden, it's week one, because you do all the prep work for Levitt Amp. It's week one, and it starts, and now, in an instant, here we are, week 10. And it's over.
It's wild. I cannot believe that it is the 22nd of August. And I'm hanging on. What do you have until September 21st is technically the end of summer?
Right.
Yeah. So I am like, it does not feel like summer outside at this very moment in time.
A little chilly. But,
Personally, I'm looking forward to the additional 30 days of Rhode Island sunshine to really close out the summer. But yeah, I can't believe that it's been 10 weeks from 20 incredible bands, all of these great nights of free live music in River Island Art Park. It's wild that we're already in August.
So talk about the collaboration that's going on this summer with your volunteers and everybody down at River Island Art Park.
Oh my gosh. I will say that is one of the things that I love about Levitt Amp Woonsocket. So every year it comes together with a bunch of people that are each doing a little piece, and that's how the magic happens. It's really, NeighborWorks Blackstone River Valley is the lead on the project, but there's no way that we could possibly do this without all of our partners that we have in the community. And so the Downtown Woonsocket Collaborative is huge when it comes to supporting with fundraising. It costs over $60,000 to put on these 10 weeks of music, which is a lot of money, but actually not. Each concert is about $6,000. So not that much when you're thinking about each of these big events that happens week after week. We've had the city who built this incredible, phenomenal stage. It has entirely transformed the experience in the park. People are,
It really has.
It's
just beautiful.
It's beautiful. The audience is excited to be there. They always have been, but it feels bigger somehow this year. And
more permanent, you think?
More permanent. It's funny. I get emails that are like, "Hey Meg, can we use the Levitt stage?" And I laugh and I'm like, well, it's the city stage.
It's not, technically it's not the Levitt stage, but that's what people are going to call it now.
It's the city stage. You should contact Parks and Rec. But it's to see the desire for other folks to want to come out and activate that space and do additional programming right in River Island Art Park. It has been inspiring. It was one of the points of the grant and the series is they wanted you to take a space that was underutilized and breathe new life into it. And since the skating rink hasn't been there, the park really it's a beautiful spot that had been less utilized. And so, the Blackstone Valley Prevention Coalition had Summerfest there last week. The Woonsocket Theater Boosters, I think that's the name of the group. They're doing a fundraiser that is a donation-only cabaret in the park on the 4th of September. And so these are just, folks reach out and they're like, "Hey, Meg, can we do this?" And so it's
funny they reach out to you first.
Yeah, well, they reach out to the city to use the park, but then they see Levitt as an opportunity to connect with the community. So tonight during intermission, one of the Woonsocket Theater Boosters is actually there. She's going to sing a song that will be done during the Alumni Cabaret fundraising event.
Nice.
And then they'll talk a little bit about hey, I know you all come to the park every week and this is the last week, but in a week from now, you can come out and like, here's another way that you can engage and collaborate on.
When you talked about the theater, I thought someone might get up and do a little soliloquy from Hamlet or something like that.
You know, they mentioned
little Shakespeare in the Park.
They mentioned someone doing a speech, and I was like, by speech, you can say a couple of words. Like, we're really here to like dance, listen to music, have a good time. If it was a Hamlet soliloquy, though, maybe.
Well, to be or not to be. That's all you got to say.
Mixing it up.
And how about your collaboration with the food vendors and your food trucks in Ciro's Tavern?
Oh, my goodness. Ciro's has been, such a key partner since year one. When we started this, there were some weeks there were about 125 people in the park. And even with that, Ciro's like committed to setting up, having their bartenders staffed. We've never had an issue, knock on wood, with any type of alcohol because we have our tip certified, actual bartenders that are there. And we've been able to sell alcohol in the park, and people can walk around with their beer or their special cocktail, and it's just all part of the...
No one's stumbling around,
no one
banging
is
into each other,
stumbling.
no one falling down.
Nope, and it's all just like part of this festive experience that you'll get when you go to many other festivals, and I think it's really cool that we get to have this right here in Woonsocket. And so I think for Ciro's, it's probably extra nice that now, our average audience has been a little over 500 this year, which is...
phenomenal.
Yeah, it's not double, but it's substantially more than it's been in prior years.
So that means more sales for those guys.
Exactly.
And they're going to like that.
Exactly. And then our food vendors, we have, so at NeighborWorks Blackstone River Valley, we have a kitchen incubator space right at 40 South Main, which is really cool. Literally, part of the reason we started the concert series was because we wanted an opportunity for those vendors to sell, to, they're starting their business, they're testing things out, like how do we have opportunity for sales? And folks listening might remember, this is like the Wayback Machine, but back in 2017 we fiddled with some food truck nights that were like not as well received.
Very. Well, you know what, I think publicly
right,
they were very well received.
Yes.
There might have been one or two people, maybe three, who were big mad about it, but
you heard everyone complain about those people. You heard those people complain.
Was it the choice of the food, or we don't like that business kind of thing?
They didn't want food trucks in the city. They thought it would hurt.
Okay, now I remember this. I'm like,
Yeah.
I do. Okay, I remember the complaints that were coming. Okay, it was going to cut down on people going to the restaurants, right? And was
Right.
that was the
Even
complaint?
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
That was like the theory.
Yeah.
And so we had partnered with an outside agency that was running those events. What we realized was like the community really likes coming together
Yes.
around food.
The community loved it.
It was a good opportunity for the trucks, and that also showed us when you add music to these things, people don't just like come and eat and leave. You actually stay and you meet your neighbors and you interact. It's just like what you want in a downtown, right? And so we shifted, and it was definitely working with Parks and Rec that were like, just go into River Island Art Park. It's here. It's a good opportunity. So we shifted the series just down a little bit, but it allowed the new food businesses at the Mill Race Kitchen to get out there and start their sales. And so we've had a few vendors that have been there week after week. We've talked about this, like Ryan Bakes, this vegan cookie maker who's been there. Like, she has her spot in the park and people expect her to be there.
Okay.
She's adjusted her recipes a little bit or added a thing or two to what she's selling. And it's been like a great business opportunity as she's starting up this like vegan cookie business. And so we have
Who'd have thunk it? Vegan cookies.
Right? I know. And they're absolutely
I don't
delicious.
think people really care if as long as they're tasty.
Yeah,
That's all that really matters. Yeah.
If you're vegan, you're loving it. Right?
Isn't it great that
right.
sugar is vegan?
Right. I know. It's not all healthy, you know.
Add a bunch of sugar to those cookies. Sugar and peanut butter, vegan, right?
Yeah, sugar comes from a plant.
They're going to taste incredible.
All right, so glad all the collaborations working well. Back to the stage for a moment. What do you? The artists must be feeling great, especially the ones that have been here before.
Yes.
They were at the other one, now the new one, and then
Yes.
the new people that come in, they just must be just thrilled with it.
Yeah. So last week we had Terrence Simeon, who is the 2-time Grammy Award winning Zydeco musician.
guy.
He had been on the rinky dink is like the best description that I have for the last stage. I mean, it
was very small.
It was very small. Week after week, I would like climb up a ladder with zip ties and zip tie the tarp as a
Hold
roof
it together.
over the top of the stage, because you had to take it down if it rained, which it did a lot in prior seasons, so that the tarp wouldn't rip, and then you'd be up there. I mean, it would take like a good 45 minutes of like ladder climbing and zip tying.
And that's always fun.
Oh my goodness. In a very hot day. Anyways, it gives me a great appreciation for what the sound engineers and everybody else does that has to be outside in the park all day long. But Terrence was just amazed. So you have this musician who has 2 Grammy Awards to his name, which I just think is incredible that this guy is like, hey, I want to play in Woonsocket. And he's arrives and it's just like, wow, guys. Like,
he's impressed, huh?
He's impressed with this like stunning, I think, piece of architecture that was designed and developed and, installed in such a really quick turnaround. And now really gives that park, I think, a sense of like feeling like you walk in, and I mean, I was in awe the first time I saw it. I was like, whoa, what is this? So our returning artists have definitely been impressed, and our new artists that come, I mean, they don't know any different, but they're definitely appreciate like Adam Brunetti and Dave Richards definitely thought through all of the elements in terms of sound engineering and lighting, and like how do we make sure that this is something that has a good impact, and that they thought through all of any kinks that could happen before it was installed. So it sounds incredible. The lighting from the stage is beautifully artistic. I mean, it challenges some like stadium shows I've been to. It's really stunning.
You remember the good old days at the beginning when the sun went down. Now you can't see the band on the stage.
I think one year we like bought flashlights and we're like, okay, like volunteers, you're gonna stand in the front and hold these on the musicians. Like it, you just
gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
talk
fun.
about collaborations.
That's funny.
Grassroots, and you do what you gotta do.
So the returning musicians and the new ones too, but the returning ones must say, "Hey, I want to come back because we like the stage, we like the atmosphere here."
Yeah, the crowd's bigger, and everything is better, right?
And they're done at 9:00. Like in the music scene.
Usually they're starting at 9:00.
Yes, that's like when most shows are starting.
Yeah.
And for these guys, they're like, loaded in up there. They've had dinner, they've performed, and they're packing up.
They're moving on, right?
They're moving on. A lot of them, these are touring acts. And so I think a couple of weeks ago, I was like, oh, where are you guys going for the Sweet Lizzie project? And they were like, oh, we're driving to Albany tonight. So they packed out and drove 3-4 hours to Albany, and they were getting to their hotel at the time their usual gigs would end.
Yeah, so they must be happy about that.
I know.
Do you see a future where the concerts may be allowed to go a little bit longer, or are you just not? Is that not something that you are thinking about?
So I will say when it starts to get dark, the audience thins out a little bit.
Okay.
So if the audience stays longer, like let's play music for longer. But if the audience is like, oh, we've had enough, we can shift that way. We've actually shifted a couple of the sets. Again, Adam Brunetti and his folks, got to give them a ton of credit because they have managed to flip that stage incredibly fast. Like you might have a full band as the opening act, drum kit and everything, and they're flipping it over
bring new stuff
in like 15 minutes to get the whole next act on. So we've actually been able to start 15 minutes early from time to time, and then the headliner is done 15 minutes early. And what we found is that they're playing for like a fuller audience at the end of the evening then.
Yeah.
So
that's great. All right, we're going to take a break here on the Coffee Amp program. We'll be talking with Meg a little more about Levitt Amp and their final week here in Woonsocket. But this portion of Coffee Amp's been sponsored by the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. What do you see, Melissa?
And I, too, get the list in my inbox. It's normally Dave bringing you these events, but this morning, haven't been through my first cup of coffee, folks. Sorry. It is the list from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber. There is a networking pop-up at Our Spot Bar and Grill in Pawtucket on September 9th. 4:30 to 6. There are sponsorship opportunities for the executive golf outing also on September 16th at Kirkbrae in Lincoln. There is the Eggs and Issues breakfast featuring my Senate President Valerie Lawson on September 24th, also at Kirkbrae, 8:30 to 9:30. And there is, we're already going into October, which seems crazy, but there is an HR roundtable, employer workforce program, and resources available to small businesses on October 1st. And you can get all of these and more if you sign up for the list from the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. And we appreciate their support week after week.
All right, more Coffee and coming up. Stick around.
Your station for news and sports, ON 1240.
In a world where good food, friendly faces, and unforgettable memories collide, there's one place that stands out from the rest. Gators Pub is proudly celebrating 35 years of excellence in North Smithfield. Join us at Gators Pub, where every visit feels like coming home. Our secret to success? It's simple. Our super friendly staff and mouth-watering dishes prepared fresh daily by our talented chefs. Sink your teeth into our delectable lunch specials from Monday through Thursday and savor complimentary soup to warm your soul. Enjoy the game day excitement with multiple TVs showing the Boston Red Sox while indulging in classic appetizers like our famous potato skins and pita chips. Looking for a lively atmosphere to watch volleyball games? Look no further. Pair it with our juicy burgers or the latest cocktail creations to elevate your experience. Gators Pub, your ultimate destination for good times and great food. Come and celebrate with us at Gators Pub on Route 102, just a mile before Wright's Chicken Farm. Make every moment memorable at Gators Pub, where good friends and great flavors meet. Remember, there are no strangers at Gators Pub, just good friends you haven't met yet.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-777-1225. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-777-1225. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-777-1225 or biglou.com.
The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All that coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON Radio.
It is Coffee and on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us on this Friday morning. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Murray. We're here with Meg Rigo from the 11 Amp Woonsocket Music Series. She's going to make a big sigh of relief around, 9 o'clock, 9:30 tonight?
Yeah.
We're going to celebrate
Yeah.
as we move all of our tents back to our storage facility.
So tonight it's Hermitage Green, an Irish folk rock.
Yeah, there
Act.
are. So this act, so in the Levitt world, there are about 45 other sites across the United States that have Levitt opportunities. And so a lot of times you're talking to them and you're like, hey, who do you have routed? Like, I have this date. We're looking for this type of act. And so people in the Levitt circles have been talking about
to each
Hermitage
other.
Green
Oh, okay.
since the first year we started booking in 2018. And so they've always been on our short list. We've always wanted to get them out. What we hear is that they're excellent at engaging an audience. Like, you can listen to them on whatever streaming service you would like to listen to them on, but it is like that great plus the experience you have of being at a live show that really makes Hermitage Green special.
You know how many men, people are in the band? Is it a 4-group, 5-group,
They
2
are
people?
a 5-piece act. act
Okay.
or a 5-piece group. And they're just delightful also to work with is what I hear. And so that's what, I mean, we in Woonsocket are treating our artists really well. Like River Falls has donated food for them, and so they have a complete meal before they get on stage. JB Liquors has taken care of all of the alcohol for the green room because these bands are like set up with they give us a rider and we have to meet these expectations. Adam does a great job making sure they sound brilliantly. I mean, you all here at ON Radio are giving them
sounds great.
like a live stream plus an archived version of their production, and so they're getting like a top-notch experience. And so
Do they know that ahead of time, or do they know that when they arrive here? Oh yeah, hey, we're streaming you out on around the
they
country.
know that ahead of time because they have to.
Okay.
That's in every single contract,
Oh, so-
and
okay.
that is like an additional negotiation because every band is like, you may not reproduce us, blah blah. Like they like usually are saying no. And when I share with them the delightful caliber of this great radio station and a link to like what has been produced in the past, I think we've only had one act that like really put their foot down and was
Really?
like. Yeah,
Okay.
but they'll never come back. They were really rough to work with, and we
All
don't
right,
need
so
to talk
fine.
about them again.
You live and learn.
you,
so
live
okay.
and you live and you learn. And so they know that, and they get more of the the hospitality experience once they're here. And so it's just wonderful to work with acts that appreciate that and then re-engage that back in the community. They see that this is the spirit that we're going for here in Woonsocket. They get that this is a community event, and they're giving that energy back out. And
You would think they would contact their family members and friends back wherever they come from. Hey, tune in to us,
Yes,
so you
yes.
can see us on stage performing.
Yeah, you're just giving them a wider platform to get their music out to
Yeah.
more people who maybe can't make it out for whatever reason, but see them online and like, oh, hey, I really like these folks. I'm going to look them up and I'm going to buy their merch. And,
Hi, Rich. Rich Lane is here.
Hey, morning.
Thanks for
Morning.
joining us. Hermitage Green, are they from Ireland?
They're from Ireland, and they've done a ton of performing in Canada and the United States. So
All right, great.
performed everywhere. And then opening, we've got TJ and the Campers, which is, I love TJ and the Campers, ska act led by Chris Depot, who works in the Woonsocket education system for a long time in different music roles. We had them on stage for the first time last year, and they are a tight, sometimes with opening acts, it's like everyone will stop. They'll then decide what song they're
What
going to
we're
play
gonna play
next. and it's always the thing that I coach. I'm like, okay, guys, your next step, the way that you get to be like rock star
headliner.
status is
Know what you're going to play.
and they are they're so tight. They like have some pretty funny bits that they do with the audience. Their music is great, and I like that it's that local feel. So you have someone that's working in the school system here. Hopefully, your students are like, oh wow, how cool my. I don't know if I would think
my
that was
music
cool
teacher.
as a kid or not. I think it's pretty cool up on the stage.
Well, if I saw a teacher playing the guitar, I'd say,
Right?
well, all right, that's pretty cool
Yeah.
that they do this. I may have mentioned this to you, but it always amazes me about the psychology, I guess, of the fans that come out to the show, and how there's the stage, and then there's always a large open space, and then people put their chairs down. They they don't put it up close to the stage, and I'm not quite sure why they do it like that. Are they trying to make a dance floor, or is this just where they're comfortable? I don't know.
It's like, I don't know, grew up very Catholic, and like you always leave the front pews open. Like, I don't know if we're doing that game here at Levin Amp Woonsocket. Like, everybody, so you're welcome to go into the front pews or the front. You can bring your chairs as close to the stage as you want.
Yeah.
But I will say, we have used the space for a dance floor. So
right, yeah.
maybe it's just respecting the dance space, and it's really shady a
Back.
little further back.
Well, that might be it too. Okay,
So
okay.
maybe tonight when it's a little cooler, we'll get up close and personal.
I could see if you put down like a wood dance floor. Mm-hmm. Okay, we stay away from this, but there's nothing like that.
No,
there.
absolutely
And
not.
so but they just respect the space.
Something like that.
This is so funny.
We have to provide the Levitt Foundation. So the Levitt Foundation funds the series, or they fund 50% of the series, and we have to send them pictures as we go through to be like,
Well, they could just check out the website.
we could, but like proof that it's happening. And then also they like to document, like, here's the before and here's the after shot.
Okay.
And I've worked with like 3 or 4 different photographers now, and I'm like, hey, who also talking about collaboration, volunteer their time every week to take pictures so that we can like remember the wonderful spirit that is Levitt. Not one has been like, that was an easy task, and all of them have struggled just to get a shot. Like when you're in the park, it is vibrant with energy. Like there are people everywhere. I'm like, oh, there's about 500 people here. And every time people are like, oh, it seems like there's so many more. And when you try to capture a picture of this, like professional,
like a wide angle shot, really.
Professional photographers are like, I can't get it. Like it's what I'm getting is this circle of no one, like you're saying, in front of the stage, and like a couple of heads. So if folks would like to sit close tonight, it would be really helpful, because then I could adequately capture the energy in the park. Please and thank you.
When I've been watching it on the stream, it's always fun to see the bubbles just floating on by.
Yeah, that's great too.
And the kids chasing after them.
Yes,
I think that's always so cute.
We work with JoJo, the bubble goddess, who again, talking of collaborations, just like came up and was like, I want to do this. And so we cover
great. Kids love it.
Amazing.
Adults love it.
Yeah. There was one week where she wasn't able to make it this year, and it just felt, I was like, something is missing. And it was that there were no, like, the joy that bubbles bring to kids and adults alike, and honestly, the bands. There was a dog last week that was just jumping at the bubbles. It was like, children liking to pop bubbles. This like little like yellow lab was like jumping as the bubbles went by. It was great.
That's super. She must bring a lot of stuff with her. Besides the soap, like a small swimming pool just to put the soap in.
Yeah, and then she added a fan this year. So with how Dave would be an expert at talking us through this, but with how the wind is in the park, the bubbles don't go in the right direction. And so now there is an industrial fan that gets turned on to push them in the right direction so that you can see them. So you can see them while you're in the park, and you can see them in the stream.
All right, let's talk 2026. Things in the progress to get going for next year?
Fingers crossed. So again, this is a grant-funded opportunity. So every 3 years now we go, we recompete for the grant. Okay. So we put in an application, I think at the end of June, which is just wild, as we were like launching the series and applying for the following series all at the same time. But application went in at the end of June. We had a site visit from the Levitt Foundation.
And that went well.
That went very well in July. And there was a lot of, if you get the grant in air quotes, which I think that, 7-8 years of commitment with the COVID year.
Yeah.
I always think, I work as a grant writer, so I always think about this in grant world. Like, we as the grant writers and the organizations need the money, but the people that you're asking for the money, they need to give it to you. Like, that's helping them to fulfill their mission. What we're doing here in Woonsocket is helping the Levitt Foundation to accomplish their goals in the community. So fingers crossed, I think we find out in December if we're funded for the next 3 years.
Okay.
And then we can start making,
plans.
Plans.
Do you know if any other communities nearby in Rhode Island or nearby Mass? I know Worcester one time would try to do this, but any other communities trying to get this grant?
They have a 50-mile radius on the concert site. So if there's a concert in Woonsocket, you can't have another concert within 50 miles.
Okay.
I know that presented a problem. I think Boston wanted to apply, and so they like made an exception for they reached out to us, which is wild.
Would it be okay?
And said basically, and I was like, well, if Providence applies, that feels weird, and if like Worcester applies, that feels a little too close. But like your Boston audience is very different than your Woonsocket audience, and so I think there's an application in from Boston.
Okay. All right. Well, we got to wrap things up with Meg. So it's week 10 of 10. It's the final Levitt Amp of 2025. Another exciting season coming to a close, and we wish you the best of luck
Thank
at River
you.
Island Art Park tonight with Hermitage Green and TJ and the Campers as the acts tonight.
Yeah, happiest place to be
Should be a lot
on a
of fun.
Friday night. Hope you all join us in the park for the last week of Levitt Amp.
With the
Woonsocket.
beautiful weather tonight.
Beautiful weather, beautiful stage, beautiful people. It's gonna be great.
Fantastic. Meg, thanks for coming in.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, we're going to take a break here at the Coffee and program. More coming up. Time for the forecast brought to you by Unbound.org.
Sunny skies today with a high of 82 degrees and a breeze from the north. Tonight, mostly clear skies, overnight low of 58. Saturday's weather, sunshine and 85. Sunday, mostly sunny and 82. Sunny night, a chance of a shower. Monday, good chance of showers, maybe even a thunderstorm in the middle of the day. Mostly cloudy with a high near 81. Tuesday, back to the sunshine and 78. Wednesday, sunshine and 75. Next Thursday, sunny skies, high of 77 degrees.
Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, where we have bright sunny skies, 61 degrees. A girl in Kenya dreams of becoming a doctor. An elder in Guatemala dreams of being part of a community. Reach out and change the world, and it will change your own. Unbound.org.
Did you know that colon cancer is the second leading cause of cancer death in the United States? A colonoscopy is the best way to detect colon cancer, but there are other tests available to detect it early. If you're 45 or older or have a family history of colorectal cancer, talk to your healthcare provider. Don't die of embarrassment. Get screened for colorectal cancer. Learn more at health.ri.gov/CRC. Sponsored by the Rhode Island Department of Health and the Rhode Island Broadcasters Association.
This portion of Coffee In is sponsored by the Valley Breeze newspaper.
Since its founding, the Valley Breeze has been the trusted source for local news in the Blackstone Valley. Our readers and advertisers understand that shining a light on all aspects of our communities and doing it with some of the best local journalism makes these cities and towns better places. We believe that truth should triumph over rumors and misinformation. See valleybreeze.com or any of our 5 editions for more on how you can be part of this local news success story. The Valley Breeze, making our communities stronger by telling their stories.
ON, AM, and FM.
Coffee In on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Melissa Murray. And now Rich Elaine from Post 85. How are you, Rich?
I am good. Doing great.
Yeah.
Love the weather, huh?
Pretty nice, huh?
I love this weather.
It's a little chilly for me.
Love it, love it, love it.
Because
I
it's
like it.
August. August,
know,
you want to
I
be a
do-
little hotter.
I always want it to be hotter, but
Oh, all right. But if it's October, you're like, hey, this is nice.
no, I still want it to be hotter.
All right, Rich.
I'm living in the wrong place.
Post 85 on River Street. What's happening at the Post?
What's happening at the Post? Yeah, we've got tomorrow night. We have a band tomorrow night, So Many Roads, Grateful Dead tribute band. They're going to be on from 7 to 11 p.m. As always, no cover for the bands. They're outside underneath our pavilion. It's supposed to be great weather tomorrow night, so come on out and listen to So
Now,
Many
do
Roads.
people that come out to see the bands, do they do the same thing like at Levitt? Like take their chairs but don't go to the stage? They just kind of hang back? Or do they go right
No,
to the
because
stage?
like the bands, they set up underneath the pavilion. There's
Yeah.
a certain area, and then we got like the round tables and the chairs and
Oh,
stuff
okay.
like that. So, but yeah, but I mean, there's a little squared off area where
For dancing
we don't
purposes?
leave
Dance,
we don't leave
yeah.
the tables.
I see.
So we don't put the tables up
Yeah.
there. So
Okay.
people get up and dance, and you know you got the twirlers, so the Grateful Dead stuff.
Of course.
You got
So that's
all
how I
that
used to do it.
stuff. Absolutely, absolutely. I ain't gonna say how I know that, but.
Because you've been to a show.
But anyhow, for food, we had the Asian Cafe there a couple of weeks ago, and I understand that they were like a big hit.
All right.
So, you know, if you want to come out and have some chow there before the show, the Asian Cafe is going to be there from 5 to 10 p.m. So if you want to get there a little early, have yourself a couple of drinks, snag your table, and have something to eat before So Many Roads goes on tomorrow night, absolutely. Come out early and just enjoy some food and some beverage. And then next week, right? That's Labor Day weekend, of course, week. So if you're hanging around Woonsocket, got nothing better to do, on Saturday night, August 30th, put on your tights again. New World Wrestling Extreme is going to be back on Saturday night, August 30th. And they're going to present Tidal Wave.
All right.
Is this theme. And the doors will open for New World Wrestling Extreme on Saturday, August 30th at 6:30 p.m. with a bell at 7:30. You can get your tickets and a lot more information if you go to www.nwwextreme.com. And you'll find all your information there. Now, the following day, Sunday, August 31st, we're hosting a Polka Fest. That's always a big thing. This is the one that they used to hold on at Roosevelt Park, I think, up to 5 or 6 years ago. And then because they were going to have rain one year, I got a telephone call from the gentleman that puts it together, and he said, gee, could we use your pavilion? Because it's supposed to rain, and the older people don't want to get wet. So I said, yeah, come on in and use our pavilion. So they've set up there every year so
They
far.
loved it.
Yep. And
Perfect setup.
Absolutely. So, like I said, Sunday, August 31st, the Polka Fest. The Eddie Foreman Orchestra is going to be performing. And the Polish food, as always, going to be provided by the Krakow Deli Bakery
So
Smokehouse.
good. So good.
Yep. Very good food. And I'll tell you what, people line up. When they're
for
ready
the
to go,
varieties. Yeah.
you better
Yeah.
be ready to haul because people bolt when they say they're ready to go. They go right up there to order their food. So come on down and have some nice Polish food on Sunday, August 31st. And if you're not a big fan of Polish food, Post 85 is going to have food for purchase. We'll have hot dogs, hamburgers, and meatball subs available during that time period. So like I said, if you don't want the Polish food, you can always buy something over at our outside bar area. We're also going to have beverages available. So, like I said, Sunday, August 31st, the Polka Fest from 12 to 5 p.m. And then we'll get into September. The Saturday, September 6th, we got Radio Badland coming in again from 7 to 11 p.m. They're always a great crowd there for Radio Badland. Very, very popular band. And then another big date, Saturday, September the 13th, our second annual Country Fest. That goes from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. We got a 12-hour time period there. Don Colt Band, country band, is going to be playing from 1 to 4:30 p.m. And then we got Bulletproof, a very, very popular country band that's going to be playing from 7 to 11 p.m. on Saturday, September 13th. And in the middle of all that, we're going to have a pig roast. All right, a typical country style pig roast with all the sides and fixins. That is going to start to be served right around 5 p.m. in between the bands. And tickets to that, they're only $18. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to get a plate of food you probably ain't going to be able to finish. All right, so it's going to be all good stuff. And all day, by the way, if you're saying, well, I want to go and listen to the Don Colt Band, but I'm not going to stay for the pig roast, and we're going to have hot dogs and hamburgers available all day. So, if you don't want to hang for the pig roast, come and have some hot dogs and hamburgers. And the tickets, the $18 tickets, by the way, for the pig roast, they're on sale now down at Post 85. So if you want to purchase your tickets in advance, please do so. I always like to talk about the courtesy car, of course. And those of you that are listening out there to say, okay, what is a courtesy car? Well, a courtesy car is a vehicle that we have out of American Legion Post 85. And what we do, it's totally independent from the VA. And what we do out of Post 85 with this courtesy vehicle is that if you're a veteran that has a medical appointment either down at the VA or your own private doctor, and you live in the Woonsocket community area, North Smithfield or, Blackstone, Mass, whatever, but right around Woonsocket, you can give us a call at American Legion Post 85, 401-766-7585. And what we do with the courtesy vehicle is you leave your information with the person that picks up the phone. That person will call me. I'm the duty officer for the vehicle. I will call you. We will pick you, if the date is available, we will pick you up at your home for your medical appointment. We will drive you to that medical appointment and wait for you there. And once that medical appointment is done, we will bring you home. And this service is all free of charge to our veterans. So, like I said, give us a call if you want to use that service, 401-766-7585 at the American Legion Post. I also want to talk about the Veteran Banner Program.
Mm-hmm. I have it up on my phone right now.
I'll tell you what, I'm a tad bit perplexed. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when we unveiled all these banners on Memorial Day, the crowd that was there, and everybody was so enthusiastic and oohs and ahs and everything like that. And folks, the idea of the banner program is for people to buy banners. Mm-hmm. Okay? And I'm not going to say sales have been flat, but I don't think we anticipated. We anticipated a few more.
Yep.
Okay, so I mean, right now I'd say we got somewhere between 15 and 20 banners sold, and I know there's a lot more light poles up in the city of Woonsocket than
Oh,
15
yes.
or 20.
Yep.
Okay, so here's the deal with the banners, folks. A lot of people are under the misconception that it has to be a deceased veteran to go on the
Yeah.
banner.
Yeah.
No, it does not. The only stipulation with the banners is the person's face, the veteran's face that's going to go up on the banner. We want them to have a Woonsocket tie, either born in Woonsocket, lived in Woonsocket when you went into the military, or you currently live in
Right.
Woonsocket. Those are the only three stipulations as far as getting the veteran's face up on one of these banners. Now, let's say you're saying, okay, the banners are $175, okay, and $75 of each purchase of the banner is going to go towards a veterans crisis fund. I can tell you straight out, about a week and a half ago, we had a veteran that was literally sleeping underneath our pavilion. We took that veteran with the money. We have a very small bank for a crisis program. We took some of that money and we put that veteran up in a hotel for 2 nights until
Right,
we could
because-
get him something a little bit more
Yeah,
permanent.
yeah, because assistance isn't always available. If something happens on a Friday night and it's over the weekend and nobody's like you never know when, you're going to find someone who's down on their luck, and the best way to, to honor those that have passed is to help the living, right?
There you go.
So, I think it's really important to know that the program is open to any and all service members, any branch, past and current. They just have to have a connection to Woonsocket. So the website is uvcwoon.org. That's uvcwoon.org, and you can click on the Rhode Island Veteran Banner Tribute Program, and it has all of the information there. You can fill out a form, and if you're not, tech savvy, you can call, and they'll give you more information. You can call the post.
Yeah, you can call the post and say, have Rich give me a call because, and I'm going to tell you, like, I'm not trying to, you've got to be pretty tech savvy when it comes down to the point of downloading whatever photo
Yep.
you might want to put on the banner.
Right.
Because I've had two, in fact, I sat with Joe Gennaro last night. He's the president of the United Veterans Council. He's pretty tech savvy. And so I sat with him last night, as a matter of fact, with 2 pictures. Like, these were older folks that got to the point where, and you have to download something. It
You
says
have to scan
it's
it.
got to
Yes,
be
it
a
has to
must,
be
and you got to
scanned,
know how
right.
to scan. You got to know.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to do that, that's where you want to give me a call
Sure.
at the
And,
post.
and I have
or-
a scanner also, so you
Yep.
can reach out to me as well,
Yep.
and I can help you scan a really nice photo.
See, awesome. So you got
Yeah.
all the help. Now listen, and here's something, I wanted to mention this too. You turn around and look, some people haven't got $175. I can understand that. But listen, let's say that Mr. and Mrs. Jones down the street in Woonsocket, and their son or daughter happens to be in the military now. And you and 3 of your neighbors, you like Mr. and Mrs. Jones, and you think their kid is awesome for being in the military, right? So what you do is you turn around, you go to your neighbors and go, hey, look, let's all chip in.
Yeah, $25. Get a bunch of people. $50.
Yeah.
Whatever
and,
you can.
and let's buy a banner and honor this person that's in the military now. This
Absolutely.
young kid that lives in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the parents are going to love you, right? Yeah. Oh, they're going to be so honored and everything. So, yeah, do that. But like I said, we're talking about Veterans Day to get these banners up on the poles, and we just like people out there. This is going to make downtown Woonsocket look like awesome.
Yeah,
When
if
you
you've
see these
seen
mili-
these
Yep.
up in other communities and you're driving down the street and you just see row of like banner after banner, each one in tribute or in honor of or in memory of someone that has served, it's really like collectively makes an impact, and it's really beautiful. That is kind of what started this. I saw this picture of like that somebody the town that did this. And I was like, I could just picture it on Main Street. Immediately, I was like, we can do that. Kind of like the bridge dinner, which is happening tomorrow night, right? When I saw that, I was at it wasn't at the exact same conference, but it was two different like Main Street conferences, which is why we do these. We get all together and like collect, share ideas. And somebody did dinner on their they had a nice little quaint covered bridge. But I was like, hey, we have a bridge. We can do that. And much like Levitt, or like with the food trucks that we were talking about earlier, where people were like, oh, you can't do food trucks. But I feel like, you're going to have dinner on the bridge. You can't do that. And no one's going to come. And it costs too much. And I will say that there were a lot of naysayers, but 7 years strong.
Yeah.
And it's tomorrow. So the bridge will be shut down tomorrow for just a few hours. It's not a big deal, but we're bringing over 300 people to downtown. And I know already, even some people that I'm with, it ends at 10, and we're going to, go to a local place after that.
I'm sure
right?
you are,
And
majority will.
A majority will, right? So it's over 300 people. So I'm very proud of that. So let's boost that here too with the Veterans Banner, right? Let's once people see them up, they'll be like, oh, well, I want to do that too, right?
I have banners in my car right now. I may have to pass one or two of those on to you before you leave today, and you can bring them with you.
We can take them on tour.
Yeah, sound good?
Oh, yes.
Sound good?
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, and you can hold them up and you can tell people.
They're taller than me,
Kick in the
so I'm gonna
$175. Let's go.
So they're taller than me, so I'm probably going to have to go on stage to do that. But maybe let me see if I can finagle that. There is less than 30-something hours for that. But you know what? I'm sure that I can figure it out.
No way.
All right, we're going to take a break here with the Coffee AM program. More coming your way, so we ask you to please stick around.
The Valley Breeze has been a local news leader since its founding in 1996, and more people are reading our stories today than ever before. We believe our mission of making our community stronger by telling their stories is not just a tagline, but a way of life for our staff as they connect with you, our loyal readers and advertisers. Our team thanks you for always reading, always reaching out, and always helping toward our shared vision. Check out any of our 5 editions or visit valleybreeze.com for more.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
ON Radio.
It is Coffee In here on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan with you, along with Melissa Murray and Rich Elaine. And so someone down in Pawtucket got a very big surprise that they weren't expecting. And it's a city employee in Pawtucket. He's out collecting, he's cleaning up a local cemetery, and they won't tell you which cemetery, and I think you'll know why. But he sees a trash bag in the cemetery, so go picks it up, and going to bring it over to the dumpster. When the bag ripped open, and out come 6 snakes.
Oh.
Alive snakes.
Bag of snakes.
6 snakes fell out. One of them being a python. Don't know what the other 5 were, but one was a python. And they don't say how big these snakes were, but it doesn't really matter. What's amazing, the snakes are now being cared for. They're at Sabrina's Reptile Kingdom, which is in Cumberland. They can take care of the snakes. How did they wrangle the 6 snakes? How did they just not all scurry away, slither away? I don't know.
I don't either, and believe me, I wouldn't hang around long enough to find out.
Well, someone wrangled these snakes.
Someone wrangled these snakes, right?
So they are looking for information. They think the snakes were pets, and they just got
and people just
too
didn't
much.
want it.
I don't want them anymore. So they put them in a
So you
bag
put
and
them in a trash bag.
put them in a trash bag.
And
yeah,
put
and
them,
put it.
like they're-
They put them in a cemetery. Well, someone will pick up the bag and throw
that's
them away.
so terrible and
Yep.
and also like so disrespectful.
So they do want anyone with information regarding who might own the snakes to contact the Pawtucket Animal Shelter. Maybe it was the animal shelter people that came down and and wrangled the snakes.
Maybe, I don't know.
But
I don't know.
But just talk about, hey, that's not what I'm
Guarantee you,
expecting.
I'll guarantee you they weren't my snakes.
No, they
Ah,
weren't.
They're not my
you
snakes
can take
either.
that to the bank and deposit it.
You know, I have the 4-leg rule. If it has less than 4 legs or less, I'm okay with it. But like, I'm not going to be hanging out with six snakes. No.
All right, well, that's what happened in Pawtucket. So that person must have been pretty surprised. Wow, hey.
Everybody listen out there, where that guy's chicken. I really, there's certain things I don't like and certain things I can handle, but not
But if you're out with the crew, Rich, go pick up that bag over there and got to throw it away. Oh, okay, you're not going to think
Yeah,
any
I know,
differently.
yeah.
And the bag moves.
Now the
Like,
bag
what-
moves. Like,
if the bag moved, I'd be gone too.
You know what though? No, but if the bag moved, I'd open it because it could have been like kittens or
Could be.
puppies,
It could be.
right? And then
Yeah.
there's snakes, and I'm like, oh well, that was a bad choice.
That's why I look at the junior guy in the crew and say, "Come here, open this."
Unless you are the junior person on the crew. All right. Well, our Assistant Attorney General, Devin Flanagan,
Yes.
goes on unpaid leave starting on Monday.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I guess so. She worked this week, and she works in the appellate, criminal part of the appellate, whatever they do. But I'm glad it's an unpaid leave because it would have been a vacation. It is a vacation for what you did, but it is an unpaid. It doesn't say how long. It just says unpaid leave. Starts on Monday, and that's it. So that's just the latest there.
Yep. Good. Good.
So, did you see the video, Rich?
No,
of her being arrested.
No.
You got to watch it because
Okay.
it is rather humorous.
All right.
Yeah.
And how she's well, really not screaming, but
Turn off the body camera.
Turn off the body camera.
Don't you know who I am? I'm the AG.
Oh, I love
AG.
it when they
I'm
pull
an
that
AG.
card. I love it.
I'm an AG.
Absolutely love
and,
it.
Oh, no, I read our own Chief Thomas Oates, who is the head of the Rhode Island Police Chiefs Association.
Yes, he's the chief of the chiefs.
Yes. Well, someone reached out to him in media and said, "What's the rule on turning off the body camera?" Okay, if you're a witness,
And you have to. Right.
of a crime, or you're the victim,
Yeah.
you can ask them to turn off their body camera, and then they have to. If you're the suspect, Ms. Flanagan, you don't get to have the body camera turned off.
Nope.
She was saying that. I'm a lawyer, and I know, and I'm telling you to turn off the body camera, and they said no.
Good.
Alcohol was involved, Rich, in case you were,
Oh, my God.
were wondering
Really?
on
Yeah,
that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
So-
Sure it
Yeah.
was.
All right. Grief counselors will be available at Attleboro High following the discovery of the body of, she was a graduate of this past June, of
18.
Kylie Montero, 18 years old.
Yep.
So grief counselors will be on hand to help out anybody that's having problems with this. 22-year-old Gregory Groom is charged with murder. Did you hear about this?
Yeah, yeah.
And do you hear what she did though? It's right out of Hollywood. She texted her family, "If I'm killed or I'm murdered or I die, Greg did it."
Yeah. I only have 4% left on my phone.
Yes.
If something happens to me, he did it.
Oh my God.
And that was able to go
I
through.
mean, I don't know about you, Rich, but like when you heard about, okay, she's 18, she's pregnant,
11 weeks pregnant. Yeah.
11 weeks pregnant, she's missing. Immediately, my mind was like, the boyfriend or whoever did it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah.
And isn't it sad that the number one cause of death of pregnant women is their partner?
Is the partner?
That's an actual statistic. So like I immediately thought, oh, okay, he did it, whoever he is, and
Well,
he
you
did.
know, the family members went to the police and said, "Take a look at this.
Yeah.
You've
Yeah.
got to focus in on this guy."
Yep.
And then he drew a map. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Oh,
With
yeah.
the police, he drew a map of his backyard and said,
To
"This."
where-
Oh, yeah, no, I heard that. I
this is
heard
where
he,
she-
like,
This is where she
showed
is.
him this is where she is.
And
yeah.
they went and dug there, and
That's
there
terrible.
she was.
Terrible. Terrible.
all right.
Oh, I got some good news.
Oh, what's
I
the
got some good news. You want some good
yeah,
news?
what's the good news,
Yeah.
Rich?
We went down, me and the commander, Rob Lafort, we went down 2 days ago to Pawtucket, Rhode Island, and we ran into Leisha down there, who runs the, what's it, Elijah?
Elijah Project.
Elijah Project.
Yes, Elijah Project,
And we
yes.
picked up 250 backpacks.
Yes.
Yes. And we had to make a couple of trips because we didn't. I mean, we're two Marines, so we can't figure out like space and amount and everything like that. Come on, you ask her way too much. Yeah. So, but anyhow, me and Rob went down there, and we made a couple of trips back and forth. But we have
But
those.
you did the heavy lifting, and that's what counts.
Yeah,
right?
we did. We got them all up the American Legion post, and we're going to get together with the auxiliary up there. And, Coleman School is going to be one of our first targets.
Fantastic.
And, we'll get in touch with the people there and hopefully get these bags with some school supplies out to the kids there within the next couple of weeks.
Great.
So,
Great.
Yeah. I mean, they're we're nice folks. And you know what she told me? They handed out 10,000 backpacks last year.
That's how much the need is, where these kids can't even afford, their families can't even afford a
Something like
backpack
that, yeah.
to, keep their school supplies.
Yeah,
in. 'Cause,
yeah, so
those
it's
things get worn out, right? I mean, like kids are throwing them around. And,
Every year, my daughter got a new backpack,
Yeah.
praying it makes it all the way to June.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
don't have to buy another one.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, the look. I always like the look on the kids' faces.
Yeah.
And I always go back to this one story. I always go back. It's, you go there and it's like it makes you feel so good afterwards. But there was we had a Christmas party, and I won't say what school, or I don't embarrass anybody. But anyhow, one of the Woonsocket schools we went to and did a little Christmas party a couple of years ago. We handed out the gifts to the kids, and some of the kids are all sitting around and they're unwrapping their gifts. And there's one little kid, could have been much more than 8 or 9 years old, sitting in the corner with their gift in their hand. So one of the ladies from the auxiliary goes over to the kid and says, "Hey, by the way, you can open that right now if you want." And he looked up at her and he says, "I don't think so. I think I want to save it for Christmas in case I don't have anything else to open." When you hear that, it's like I almost wanted to grab that kid and say, "You're coming with me. We're going to..." And just shop,
We're going
kid.
shopping, yeah.
Just buy whatever you want,
Yep.
take whatever you want.
Yep.
But and when you see that, it first of all, it makes I would think it makes me so grateful for what I have in my life, and you just basically what I'm trying to say is that help each other if you can, help one another if you can.
If you're lucky enough to be able to help. then you should help.
It's like I tell all my fellow veterans, they when we do the courtesy vehicle, well, thank you for doing this. And my response to them is that, well, you're welcome, but you want to know something? If us veterans, if we don't take care of one another, who's going to take care of us? You know, so take care of each other. Basically, is the message, I guess, right?
All right. I don't know if you heard about this story. President Trump and Russian President Putin met in Alaska.
Yes.
A couple days ago. All right. An Alaska man has received a new motorcycle courtesy of Putin. Now, Mark Warren says he was gifted a Ural. Ever hear of that? URAL motorcycle?
No.
Oh, well,
No,
okay. It's a
never heard of
Ural
that.
motorcycle last week. And it came about after Warren spoke with 2 Russian state media journalists. So, media follows around Trump. Russian media follows around Putin.
Yeah.
And so they were talking, the Russian journalists are talking with the Americans. What about? Not quite sure, but they were talking earlier this month. And it's before the summit between Putin and Trump took place. He says he was approached by the journalists while riding his motorcycle through downtown Anchorage. He says they started asking him questions about it while filming him. Ural motorcycles are named after the Ural Mountains in western Russia.
Okay.
So Russia is calling the move an act of giving by President Putin. Imagine that. Here, this is from the president of Russia. Wants you to have this motorcycle.
Well, nothing wrong with that.
Well, thanks.
I mean, no, wait a minute. Now he stands there as a journalist, does an interview with somebody.
Answers questions.
He knows he rides a motorcycle. The journalists
Thanks for
appreciate.
answering some questions. Here's a motorcycle.
Here's a motorcycle for you. Wow.
Well, yeah, but
I don't know
with
if
the
I would
questions,
accept a
what do you
motorcycle
think
from
about?
Russia. I grew up in the 80s, I don't know.
Well, look, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not a Putin lover, please. I mean, don't even label me like
I remember,
that, okay?
I just
No.
remember, when, Russia was
They were the
Well,
best.
no,
They
our
were
friend.
the
But,
evil empire.
Yes, yeah, right.
Well, look, I mean, Trump wants to gift.
Don't get window cancer.
Trump wants to gift Putin a B-2.
An airplane?
Yeah.
We're not going to say how he wants to gift it to him, but
Well-
no, but you're giving an interview. and like you appreciate the guy talking to you. And Putin says, well, no, let's.
knows
The
he
guy
ri-
rides a
knows-
motorcycle. Yeah, let's give him a motorcycle.
Here's the motorcycle.
rides.
Don't worry, I'll never ask you for anything ever again. I don't know. I'm
Ooh,
suspect.
no, that-
I'm suspect.
Look at that. This coming out.
I know. Usually Joe's the conspiracy.
That's
theorist,
right.
right?
Yes. I'm like,
No,
I didn't go down that road at all.
Okay, maybe I don't know. I just don't see
I
nothing
don't know. I
wrong
don't
with
trust
it. And like
it. I
I
don't
said,
trust it.
I'm not a Putin lover by any
Wow.
stretch of the imagination, but I don't see anything wrong with that.
Do you,
What
do
the
you think
hell?
there's a? Do you think there's a like a bomb? Not a bomb, or maybe some surveillance on the
I
video
don't
that
know.
Wait,
I
a little
don't know.
GPS advice.
GPS thing?
Maybe. I don't know.
You know,
goes right back to the Kremlin.
You know,
Look at Melissa.
I don't even let anything go upload into the cloud. Like I have a healthy fear of big government.
Steve's right here. Steve, what do you think about all this, huh?
He'd take the bike.
First,
They take
no,
the
I'm
bike.
not a motorcycle guy. If they gave me a Pontiac, I'd take it.
There you go.
I'm not gonna run
It's the first
cars.
I've heard of that.
Oh, well, okay. Well, we got to run. The Do You Remember crew is chomping at the bit to get in, as always.
I will correct
On
you,
a,
it's champing at the bit.
oh, it's chomping.
Champing.
Chopping.
It's chomping.
Ask Gary.
What's champing? That's not even a
Ask
word.
him. If you don't agree with him, he'll say
Well,
something.
I don't agree. Melissa Murray, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Such a spirited conversation
Yes.
today.
And our thanks
Have a
to-
great weekend.
Thanks to Meg Rigo, who showed up earlier today as well. Rich, thanks for being here.
Don't take motorcycles from Putin.
All right, there you go. That's the public service announcement for the day. This is Joe Callahan. Stay tuned for Gary Smith of the crew. We'll talk again at 2 this afternoon here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. There's a developing story unfolding this morning just outside of Washington, D.C. that involves President Trump's former national security advisor, John Bolton. NBC's Ken Delanian with more.
You have police cars and FBI agents outside of John Bolton's home in Bethesda.
Delanian confirms the FBI carried out a raid on Bolton's Maryland residence. FBI Director Kash Patel posted on X, "No one is above the law," but did not offer any details on what prompted today's action. Bolton is a frequent Trump critic who previously has been accused of leaking